Good day, everyone. I am here to discuss all about the types of transfers, the complex transactions. So let us proceed. Complex transactions. Complex transactions are partly gratuitous and partly onerous. These are commonly referred to as transfers for less than full and adequate consideration. The gratuitous portion of the transaction is subject to transfer tax, while the benefit from the onerous portion is subject to income tax. So first, let us define what is transfers. So transfers refers to any transmission of property from one person to another. Complex transfers or complex transactions is the sale made at price which are significantly lower the fair value of real property. So, para daw mabawasan ang tax na i-impose sa'yo. For example, may pamagmamayari ka ng isang sasakyan at gusto mo siyang ibenta. Pero yung cost ng sasakyan mo is 1 million pero ibinenta mo siya ng 100,000 lang. So, ang ibig sabihin, kaya mo siya ibinenta ng 100,000 is para mabawasan ang tax na i-impose po sa iyo. So, naintindihan? From the cost na 1 million, i-denown mo lang siya sa 100,000 para lang mabawasan yung tax na ibibigay sa iyo. And sabi, complex transfer or complex transactions are partly gratuitous and partly onerous. So, ano nga ba yung pag sinabing gratuitous? So, gratuitous is a transfers of goods or properties for free or without any considerations of the receivers. So, while the onerous is transfers of goods or properties for a considerations or price such as sale or barter, parang may exchange. Merong exchange na magaganap. Samantalang ang gratuitous is parang binibigay mo lang siya for free, no cost at all. Next is complex transfers or complex transactions is referred to transfers for less than full and adequate consideration. So, masasabi nating adequate considerations kung nakadepende sa mismong price or value na isasend mo sa ibang tao. In transfer, for adequate considerations, we have the tax rules. So, transfers for adequate considerations are deemed pure exchanges and are subject to income tax, not those transfers tax. So ayun, may pure exchanging siya, kaya subject to income tax. So, parang may exchange, may bigayan tayo. Then, or may nakukuha akong income may nakukuha pa akong income. So, for transfer, for less than adequate and full considerations are split into components, the transfer element and the exchange element. So, kapag transfer element is subject to transfer tax. So, what is transfer tax? Ang transfer tax ay yung excise tax or privilege taxes or right mo para magbayad ng tax. So, it is charged by a state or local government to complete a sale of a property. So, So, next is the exchange element. So, the exchange element is once na may income ka or earnings, ito ay subject to income tax na. Or pag nagkaroon ka ng income from one another, subject to income tax na. So, what is income tax? So, the income tax is the tax that the government impose in income generated by a business and individuals within their jurisdictions. So, in short, the complex transfers or complex transactions is subject to transfer tax and subject to income tax. So, palagi kapag may complex transaction or in short, pinagsamang unilateral transfers and bilateral transfers sa diniscuss na siya ng ibang reporters. So, yun lang ang complex transactions, pinagsamang unilateral and bilateral. So, I have a illustration. So, a taxpayer sold his car which was previously purchased for 100,000 and with a current fair value of 180,000 and for only 130,000. So first, what is fair value? Fair value is the hypothetical value. It refers to the price of an asset in the marketplace. And next, what is the selling price? So yung selling price is yung mismo kung magkano mo siya ibebenta. And cost, kung magkano yung ginastos mo dun sa isang property or sa isang mong pagmamayari. So, from the illustrations, we have the fair value of 180,000 and the selling price of 130,000 and the cost of 100,000. So, from the fair value of 180,000 and the selling price of 130,000, we need to subtract it and the answer will be 50,000. And this 50,000 is subject to transfer tax. Why? Because nagiging indirect donation mo na siya kasi naibenta mo siya sa lower value ng fair value. Kasi from 180,000 na fair value, ibinenta mo lang siya ng 130,000 pesos. So, kaya yun ay subject to transfer tax kasi nagbigay ka ng indirect donations o ibinigay mo na lang yung 50,000 as your donations. So next, from the selling price na 130,000, ang pinakagastos mo lang or cost mo dun sa sasakyan is 100,000. So, meron ka pang 130,000 minus the 100,000 equals 30,000. So, that 30,000 is subject to income tax. Why? Kasi, yung selling price mo na 130,000, then na-cost or nagastos mong 100,000, nagkaroon ka pa ng income na 30,000. So, ibig sabihin, subject ka for income tax. Kasi, nagkaroon ka pa ng earnings or income dun sa selling price mo. Or in short, yung price na ibinigay mo ay nahigitan pa yung cost sa pagbenta mo. So, kaya yun ay subject to income tax. Ayun nga, the excess of fair value over the selling price is gratuity or gift. Din nga yung sinasabi ko sa inyo. Kaya siya ay subject to transfer tax kasi may binigay kang indirect donation mo na lang siya. So, whereas the excess of the selling price over the cost of an item magiging gross income mo siya. Magiging mabilis na pagkuha mo ng income. Kasi nga, nagkaroon ka na mas nahigitan ng selling price mo ang iyong gastos or your cost. Kaya magkakaroon ka ng gross income. So, gross income, it refers to the total income of a person receives before paying off for taxes and other deductions. The other example of complex transactions or complex transfers are the transfer of property or land between the family members or spouses, transfers in and out of superannuation funds and family trust, and mortgage with private lenders, loss of title application. So, doon na-apply yung complex transactions na partly gratuitous and partly onerous. So, lagi niyong tatandaan na kapag subject to transfer siya, nagbibigay or nagiging indirect donation mo siya sa ibinenta mo. And kapag income tax naman is nagkakaroon ka ng income from the sa binenta mo. Parang yun nga, mataas yung selling price mo compare sa cost mo. So, nakakaroon ka ng income. So, subject to income tax. Yon. So, ganun lang yung pag-complex transactions natin. It can be subject to transfer tax or subject to income tax, and it can be for free or for considerations. So also, the complex transactions, lagi nyo tatandaan, it refers to transfers for less than full and adequate considerations. And that's all. And I hope you learn a lot. And I am your reporter, Erica Africa, from Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Financial Management.